look at me, can't you see?
And around the final turn they come. Folks, this is the race of the century. War Admiral versus Seabiscuit. They're neck and neck. No, wait, Seabiscuit has found his second wind. He's pulling ahead. There you have it. Seabiscuit, the American Idol, has just defeated the Muhammad Ali of racehorses and will forever go down in history. While that race happened some 80 years ago, I am here today to talk about the horse that inspired millions of Americans to believe in the underdog, a tradition that has stood the test of time. Seabiscuit's story is one that has been told in many different ways, but I have scoured the different sources to relay the most accurate information on this phenomenon. This speech will include information on the troubles of Seabiscuit's early life, his successful racing career, and the people in his life who helped him become such a phenomenon. Before Seabiscuit was dubbed the hero of the turf, the horse that came up from nothing on his own courage and will to win by the writers of the Saturday Evening Post, he was stubby, legged, knock-kneed, and lazy. In the biography of Seabiscuit, Seabiscuit was named to be sired by Hardtack, a grandson of the man of war. In 1935, Seabiscuit was a 2-year-old making his 17th attempt to win a race. Finally, on his 18th attempt, Seabiscuit succeeded in winning his first race and finished with 5 wins and 35 losses for his first season of horse racing. Again listed in the article on Seabiscuit, Seabiscuit struggled with getting along with his trainers and jockeys, until he was purchased by a man named C.S. Howard. Howard came across Seabiscuit at a claiming race in Saratoga and purchased him for $8,000. After years of mistreatment from past jockeys and trainers, Seabiscuit was underweight and had been developed into a mean, ragged, and restive horse. In the biography of Seabiscuit, they listed that to get Seabiscuit back into his racing form, his trainer Tom Smith fed him the best of hays, let him sleep as long as he wanted, and introduced Seabiscuit to some fellow furry friends. These new companions consisted of a horse named Pumpkin, a dog named Pocatello, and a spider monkey named Jojo. In the article of Seabiscuit, once Seabiscuit was happy again and in the right hands, his racing career took a turn for the better. His first time at the Santa Anita race in California, Seabiscuit lost by only inches because of a jockey error. A year later, on his second attempt, bad luck was still with Seabiscuit, and he again was just a head short of winning the infamous Santa Anita race. After these 2 losses, C.S. Howard decided to take Seabiscuit to the East Coast for cross-country racing campaign. Before the horse leaves California, Howard is quoted saying, "Seabiscuit will take on all comers, and he'll mow them down like grass." Seabiscuit indeed proved his owner right. He flattened all the competition on the East Coast. One particular race that captured the world's attention was the match race between Seabiscuit and War Admiral. In the biography of Seabiscuit, the date was November 1st, 1938, and 40 million people across the world tuned into their radios to hear the broadcaster announce the race between the 2 great racehorses. Seabiscuit and War Admiral didn't disappoint. They were neck and neck until Seabiscuit looked him in the eye and pulled ahead to win by 4 lengths. In the article of Seabiscuit, most people thought this would be the end of Seabiscuit's career, but C.S. Howard had other plans and planned one race he felt Seabiscuit deserved to win, Santa Anita. In the midst of preparing for this race, Seabiscuit injured his left front suspensory ligament in his ankle. Seabiscuit would heal in time for the race, though, and in better shape than ever. For the 3rd and final time at the Santa Anita track, Seabiscuit ran the 1.25 miles in a blistering pace. His main opponent, Kayak, was no match once Seabiscuit reached top speed. When the times came in, Seabiscuit had achieved the 2nd fastest time ever at that track. This was the end of Seabiscuit's racing career. C.S. Howard, the man who owned Seabiscuit for the majority of his life, made his fortune as a Buick distributor in San Francisco. Howard came across Seabiscuit at a claiming race in Saratoga and purchased him from the Wheatley stable. Seabiscuit's trainer was a man named Tom Smith. To regain Seabiscuit's trust and respect, Tom babied, studied, and schooled him. And Tom worked extremely hard and put his horse's needs before his own. The first man to understand and correctly jockey Seabiscuit was a man named Red Pollard. Pollard saw potential in Red and hired him to ride Seabiscuit in all of his races. Near the end of Seabiscuit's career, Pollard had been tragically injured in a race. Hillenbrand, the author of the book as cited, stated that his body was done. He had no career left, he was homeless, and he had no money. Eventually, Pollard was able to write again, but never fully recovered. Howard and Seabiscuit both peacefully retired at Ridgewood Farm, and over the years, some 50,000 fans came and visited the superstar on his new and forever home. On May 17, 1947, Seabiscuit died of a heart attack at the age of 14. Howard then proceeded to bury Seabiscuit on a farm in a secret location. Seabiscuit captured the American people's hearts, inspired them, and made them believe in the underdog. This speech included information on the troubles of Seabiscuit's early life, his successful racing career, and the people in his life who helped him become such a phenomenon. I leave you today with a quote from the writers of the Saturday Evening Post. There should be a lesson to two-legged animals and a four-legged one, which was whipped so many times by humble opponents and still went on to beat the best there were. Thank you.